I'm Phoebe Meagher, and I currently work as the Research and Pathology Coordinator at Taronga Wildlife Hospital, where I co-curate the Australian Shark Attack file. So I also look after a huge data set to do with animal and disease health, as well as the Shark Attack file. So my job is basically managing huge amounts of data. The area of research I work in is forensic wildlife science. This also includes the Australian Shark Attack file, looking at human-shark conflict. Now, both these areas are important because it helps, in line with Taronga's strategy, work towards a shared future for wildlife and people. When I was about 9 years old, I had a bit of an incident where I was pushed out to sea in a tiny inflatable boat attached to the shore with a rope, and within about 10 minutes of being out there, we just saw a big black dorsal fin start circling around our boat, to much panic of myself and my friend on the boat, and also my mum who was on shore. So she dragged us in, and luckily everything was okay, but I think that sort of fear and fascination has stuck with me ever since, and I went straight into volunteer at aquariums and have worked with sharks ever since. The Shark Attack file is a massive database. It's been running for about 35 years. It's got over 1,000 incidents reported in there, and within each incident over 20 parameters. So we then use all that data to share with media, to share with academics, to share with other scientific institutions, to try and draw out the patterns and try and work out how people and sharks can live and play together in the same environment, sort of in a safe way, I suppose, for the sharks and for the humans. So I think for this data set particularly, when we plot it against a map, I think it's most striking and clear to end users. Taronga Zoo currently has one of these interactive maps on their website, and also a team over at Macquarie University has developed a really good one as well, using a decade's worth of data. You can actually hover over the data points, and this will allow you to draw out further information such as time of year, shark species, and date and location. So a lot of information, but very clearly displayed. I think for this data set, the Australian Shark Attack file, accuracy and consistency are probably the biggest points. Because we feed into a larger international Shark Attack file, we really need to make sure that the parameters are consistent and that the data is collected in the same manner. I mean, data's everywhere now, it's a world of data, so I think it's really important for data scientists to be out there and working with all different organisations. I think I read somewhere that data scientists get to play in everyone's backyard, which is great for them. For us at Taronga and a conservation organisation, we really need the data scientists to draw out the information from the data so that they can inform policy and inform management decisions, and that will help us protect biodiversity in the marine environment even better. My advice would be to get on top of all the technology available out there for data analysis. I found myself having to go back to do an R coding course as a mature age student and struggled, I think, because I didn't learn that type of thing off the bat. So my advice would be to make sure that you know what's available to you out there in terms of analytical techniques and technology. And also, because I'm not often at that pointy end of the stats, I think it's really important to make sure that your experimental design is set up well. So even if you're a genius mathematician, if your data is biased or it's collected wrong at the beginning, that data is going to be useless anyway. So set the experiment up well, and then your stats will come out good at the end.